Oh, did
9 o'clock, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Missed another.
No, I was standing right.
Oh, you-
Oh, pretty good.
My family. All right, happy Monday morning.
There we go.
First on the agenda is approve the minutes of November 20th as written.
So moved. I'll second.
Moved by Meach, second by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is move to authorize director chairman to sign 5 abatements in the amount of $972.58.
I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? I know there was one that come in late from up in my area. It was a boat. Been sold.
So most of these are vehicles.
Yeah, most vehicles. No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And then miscellaneous, that's miscellaneous. Upon recommendation of the Coffee County Clerk, move to authorize director chairman to sign notice of Key West Township Board for the 2023 cereal malt beverage license for Conoco Travel Center, Cedar Valley Investments, doing business as Fuel Expresso 11, located at 2754 US Highway 75 Northwest, Lebo, Kansas.
Should that be 2024?
2054, would be for 2024, wouldn't it?
For the cereal beverage?
Yes, that is. Oops.
Good catch.
Okay, correct.
Correction of 2024 cereal malt beverage license, Conoco. I'll move.
Second. I'll second. Oh, sorry.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Hugutin. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move upon recommendation of the Coffee County Clerk, move to authorize director chairman to sign notice for Key West Township Board for 2024 cereal malt beverage license for Travel Centers of America located at 2775 US Highway 75, Lebo, Kansas.
I'll so move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meach, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That ends our miscellaneous motions. 9:05 is governmental assistance services. Garrett Nordstrom's not here yet.
But that one lady is.
That one lady is.
15 minutes for him to get here, Dad. He's not late. It's 9:00.
Tom's wanting to get out here at 9:15.
I'm all for that.
He's done that occasionally when you're gone.
Because I think the last time that Jesse was gone.
I'll get that whip out
More often, I'm telling you.
I'll get that whip out, thanks for that.
I guess we could take care of Amelia
Yeah.
if she wants to come up.
I'll be quick. Good morning.
Morning.
Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
Glad it's over with.
Yes.
And you had a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
And I didn't eat any turkey either.
What?
Me neither.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So main topic is the vehicle trade-in for the Ford Edge. Cromartie Ford, Craig Agler and JR, they stated that they will do a trade-in for the 2011 Ford Edge SE with 102,000 miles plus them for $4,500.
Wow.
That's all that allow for it, maybe.
I'm sorry, was that?
That's all that allow for it.
Yeah, for the trade-in.
I didn't think it'd go much over 5. that they're,
Yeah.
Person to person is like $6,700. I couldn't get a true, what you call trade-in value,
Mhm.
but one for the same year that they were retailing for 10, they had a $7,000 trade-in. There's, leaving some money on the table there. About that.
And this is a Ford, what is the vehicle?
2011 Ford Edge,
Ford Edge.
and it's base model.
Yeah. That's four-wheel drive or is it front wheel drive?
It's just
Front.
drive, did you say?
I myself don't have a problem with it, see that, trying to sell it outright.
What do you think, Wade?
Keep it around as a spare and sell it at my auction, or
There you go.
got the only two choices.
I think it'd bring more than that, but I
Mhm.
don't know. Just want to be the stick in the mud.
it doesn't make any difference one way or the other. I mean, 4,500, I mean, that's, I suppose you could, can
Yeah.
you, that's what I was gonna say. We could sell it, I don't care one way or the other.
About 102,000, I think just broke in.
I mean, I don't know what we're
About
allowed to do.
112,000.
Do all way,
Allowed to do whatever you want.
Well, I don't want to buy it, but.
When's the next auction meeting? That would be-
Well, we
What
don't
do you-
really have anything planned yet.
Okay.
Depends on how much we have. I mean, it could be next year or if we don't. But we could do it whenever. I mean, usually do it in May.
It's probably April, maybe.
or we could keep it, and then if we could get it sold,
We can sell it before then.
that's what I
The
mean.
internet or something, but, you know, or Gilman's auction or something, I mean, whatever.
It'll be one Memorial Day. One of them
Well,
will.
they might have another. You can list it anytime, you know.
I would say let's hold on to it. I mean, it's not gonna, it's,
It's not gonna hurt him.
No.
you're talking pennies on the dollar, and I think we can get a little better money later on maybe
That would be-
out of it.
Probably 6,000, 7,000,
Let's
you
just
know.
put it on the internet, I mean, whatever you guys want to do, I think it,
I'm going on with whatever these guys want.
Yeah, I don't care one way or the other.
So that brings us back to our original purchase of the vehicle.
Mhm.
Was it 68?
68, 588, I think.
And 40 cents, yes.
if I recall right.
I forgot the 40.
You forget that. If I recall right, did you say that, you had a copy of the window sticker that showed the list price?
Mhm.
What is that?
So the MSRP is 71. Yeah, 71,385.
And that's on the Expedition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, this will not pay it. Look at this. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever you guys think. I just hate to see it. Take a $2,000 kick in at least on the trade in, so.
I'm fine with that.
Well,
I
this
think
new,
Jesse's on board with that thought too, aren't you?
this new one's gonna last a lot of years,
Yeah.
service for a lot of years, so.
Be a backup, nothing else.
Lee has got it in the budget.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Carl's little truck might bite the bullet. You need to
That's
right, we get the
Have a backup,
backup.
yes.
Sounds like we're holding on.
We still have to vote to move ahead, either way we go, right?
I mean, to go for the new vehicle, yeah.
Also move that we move on the new vehicle and just keep the Edge. and dispose of it at a later date, whatever we come up with. So I'm not sure how you wanna write the motion up.
So we have to purchase one,
2023.
Expedition.
Morning, Garrett.
Good morning.
We was a little ahead of schedule, so we threw $1 million in front of you.
that's okay,
I appreciate that.
that's enough for you.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe an F in
The
there
price.
instead of a D.
Well, alright, 7 passenger seating.
Gordon.
That's a new brand.
It is.
She's just sitting, she's busy.
Wait, 109, oh wait. Do it have any miles? It doesn't say. Okay. Are you paying for it out of the health department?
Mhm.
So, that's the price, 68. Capital outlay line. Who's seconding that motion?
You wanna
Correct.
change that G to?
Oh, yeah, good. Okay.
I'll second that.
I'll go ahead and I'll reread the motion.
Yeah.
Meats moved, seconded by Thompson. The motion reads, move to purchase one 2023 Ford Expedition XLT, two-wheel drive, 7-passenger seating, leather interior running boards, LED headlamps, 3.5 V6 EcoBoost engine, 10-speed automatic transmission, and the amount of $68,588.40 funds to come from the Health Department capital outlay line item. It was seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes.
So hold on to the Edge for auction.
Hold on to it, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what comes of it here in the near future.
Okay, perfect. And then I do have some quick updates through the health department. We are still doing the library lab draw visits. So Burlington branch is third Monday of the month, Grizzly first Monday, Levo third Tuesday, Leroy second Tuesday, and New Strong fourth Friday, and Waverly first Wednesday. I've also applied to 3 different grants. One was denied. It was the Prevention of Unintentional Deaths and Hospitalization mini grant, and that was for $4,999. The other 2 grants that I applied for are pending. One is Supporting Primary Prevention and Shared Risk and Protective Factors approach, and that has to be used in the Safe Sleep Community Baby Shower. And I should be hearing back from that before the end of the year. And then Transforming Public Health in Kansas, Workforce Development, I will know the results of that one December 1st. And that's the one that I had brought to you guys back in June, I believe, which was a decent amount. And then our wellness circuit has pretty much wrapped up for the year with the turkey trot. We might have an additional event added pending the Burlington High School and weather for one of their projects that they're doing. All right, and that's all I have.
Very well, you've been busy.
Yes, been busy.
Good.
Thank
Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
great
you, Megan.
week.
Pass on down.
This is a different one.
Yep, different batch.
Different batch here.
Do we need to go down that way?
Yep.
Well, just to Steve, I'll get Wade a copy here in a minute.
Good.
See, that's it for that round. Me.
Okay.
Garrett, you're up, sir.
Thank you for seeing me. I'm Garrett Norson with Governmental Assistance Services. I'm here this morning before you to reconsider the cost for the SSM project, the Secure Semiconductor Manufacturing. We were here on the 11th or the 14th of August and passed a resolution for the authority to apply to the Community Development Block Grant program to help offset the cost of the public infrastructure. Basically, $750,000 is going to pay for the access road. In August, those costs have moved a little bit, and they have gone to their financing institutions, the Magnolia Bank through that USD BNI loan, and also through the REDLG loan guarantee. And so basically what we're doing here is we've asked, and I talked to Wade last week about just passing another resolution with accurate costs. They moved just a little bit with the construction costs, actually came down a little bit from what we first anticipated, and a couple of the equipment pieces went up a bit, and so I'd like to be just as accurate as possible as we can when we have this authority to apply. What we had done in that first round was the SSM project is going to be roughly just north of $20 million, about $20,600,000. What we do when we budget a CDBG program is we pull out all of those sort of ancillary costs like insurance and operating costs, and we budget just the road improvements, the infrastructure improvements, the gas, water, sewer, and the building, the construction, vertical construction, and then also the equipment purchases. So if you just take the infrastructure, road, and building and equipment, those costs are right below $11 million. And so that's what we're calling our Community Development Block Grant Program. As soon as we build our road, build our building, buy that equipment, hire our people, we'll close that project out. And then that other $8-9 million around that will add up to $20 million will come in after those will be the total cost of the project. But we want to get CDBG in the project and get them out before we have to monitor all that. So that's what we're doing. There is a resolution before you. I think it is 2024.
2023-926.
I skipped ahead a year, didn't I? 2023-926. That resolution reads that Coffee County has the authority to apply, and that we are going to, let me get that number right here, provide $9,909,769 in cash match. That is the money that the SSM is putting in through the USD BNI loan, Red Lake loan, also the bonds that we passed here. We have commitment letters from all of those banks that they're going to provide that.
So even though it states it's Coffee County, it's not Coffee County's money,
That's correct.
It's SSM's money.
In the CDBG program, the Coffee County is the responsible entity. So in the end, we will be overseeing sort of that cash drawdown, and it'll just be for the road improvement. So their money that they're going to put into it, $750,000, is going directly to the road only, and that'll be publicly owned.
So you're saying the road costs have gone up, you said the road costs have changed.
Not just the road costs. The road cost actually stayed the same at $750,000, but the soft costs went up a bit for engineering for that. So the overall road budget is going to be somewhere around $859. That's with the soft costs of engineering design. But the building costs came down. They contracted with Mike Skillman's organization. Now I'm forgetting Victory Excavation. And we thought that was going to be just north of $4 million, but now it's right around 3.5, which is good for them. And some of the equipment costs, their people have been shopping in Europe for these different pieces that make capacitors, and so some of those have gone up a little bit.
Okay. I can't remember the exact wording. I took it to mean that, I'm just curious of the cost of the road.
And it's just an estimate. We want to try to maximize CDBG money, and the maximum grant we can get is $750,000. So we try to get them to estimate what that's going to be and spend all the money we possibly can. All the grant we can get, we want.
Sure.
Thank you.
But that road is, that's a public road, once it's finished, that'll be a public road.
It will be a public road.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And really, all we need is a motion to adopt the authority to apply resolution, and the chairman has to, after that is concluded, the chairman has the authority to sign all the other documents that are part of this application.
Are you good with this resolution, Wade?
Yes.
Resolution number 926, resolution certifying legal authority to apply for the Kansas Small City Community Development Block Grant Program from the Kansas Department of Commerce, and authorize the chairman to sign and submit such application. That should say chairman on there, should it not? Instead of mayor?
Instead of mayor.
Garrett, Wade?
So these forms are locked in the CDBG program, and we do not unlock them. So it's either mayor or commissioner, the slash commissioner, so that.
Okay, mayor slash commissioner, okay. I was just reading the title at the top, so. And that amount is for $9,909,769.00.
We understand that. The grant basically comes to Coffee County. We disperse the funds to them as they need. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we're going to, SSM is going to hire our company to be the grant administrator. So we will work in tandem with Angie's office to make sure that we pull down that money. We will oversee the construction process. We'll make sure the companies are in compliance with their labor requirements. And each pay app they get, which we probably assume there's going to be 3 or 4, probably 3 months worth of construction. Every month it'll come through our office. We'll square that up with Angie's office. We will make a drawdown to make that construction payment. We will make sure that all the payments and the projects are auditable in real time. We'll have that shared. So it will come through the state, through the county, and the county will write a check to the contractor for a piece of it.
So I guess my question is, because I've been involved with some of the CDBG, lost my lettering. I know the wage scale on some of those ones federal money is tied to it's quite a bit higher than normal pay scale. So I'm just curious, contractors are providing these estimates and whatnot are aware of this pay scale?
They are. That's something
Because I don't want that to come back and haunt them or us.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up. So we've been doing, we've been in the business of CDBG for about 35 years, and we've always had to comply with what you're talking about, the Davis-Bacon wage determination. We're going to make we're going to pull a wage decision down from the Department of Labor. But recently, especially after the pandemic, we found that the wage decisions are no longer keeping up with pay scale. Especially in Coffee County, in Shawnee County is a little different, and Johnson County is a little different too when you come to union laborers.
So this is union scale?
No, it's not necessarily, but the Davis-Bacon wage decision is based on union labor.
Oh, okay.
Because they're the ones that are reporting.
Sure.
And so.
Well, to help you out, Steve, one of the last ones I think I bid, I had to pay a concrete finisher $45 an hour plus fringes.
Wow.
So I don't know where this pay scale on this project.
I can't quote it right now, but we've just found that Victory understands that it's a wage decision, and so the engineers who basically the engineers estimated our road project, not the construction company. And so when they come in, their work will be on the building. So Victory won't necessarily get the contract on the road. We'll have to competitively bid that here in this.
Okay. All right.
It's a great question to ask.
It can be an issue.
It has been in the past, and it has really been it's deterred people from working in the CDBG program, because sometimes the wages can get a little higher, but lately, like I said, we've been seeing that they're not, that the Davis Bacon wage determinations aren't keeping up with what people are actually making out there,
That's
so.
pretty close now.
Yeah.
To our,
Yeah.
inflated now.
So, motion on the table for, resolution 2023-926. I will move.
I'll second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye, motion passes.
You want him to sign all of these documents you said?
Yes, please, and then you'll keep them on file and scan them at your convenience.
Okay.
So we had a handout number 2. Is there a two-part to this?
Well, I've got them
Okay.
here for original, so this is the statement of insurance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you can.
Thank you.
Here,
Thank you.
quick question.
Of course.
So this would be him signed here, right? And then I'll just seal it?
Yes, chief
Okay.
elected official.
Yep, okay. Oops.
So these are both part of the same thing.
You might have to take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, if you like, I can explain each one of those forms for you, typically.
No, if it's just part of the same.
They're all part of the same application. One is the authority to fly, and one is that you're looking at the residential anti-displacement relocation assistance plan. That is put in place. We sign in case we took some of our CDBG money and tore down some homes that low and moderate income people were living in. Demolition is not going to be part of this project, and it's not applicable. The other one is the disclosure report, which upfront discloses the different funding agencies and who has financial interest in the project so far, which would be our firm as an administrator, CFS Engineers, and then it shows that we're going to get CDBG money, USD, RED, LEG money, USD, BNI money, and there was the county bonds that were floated already. And then there's the cover page, which the chairman must sign. It's just the first page of the application to CDBG that shows, their responsibility. I think that is it, other than there's the statement of assurances and certifications. That's that 3-page longer one that lists all the applicable federal laws that we will be in compliance with by taking this money.
Okay.
And those are the two that Jess needs to sign, is that correct?
Yeah, and we'll sign, and then Angie will see a few of them, and we're good to go. And we just submit those to the Department of Commerce as part of the paperwork. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Rolling through. Emergency Management Director Amber, you're up.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Super, how are you guys?
Good.
Good to come back after a nice break.
Back to the grindstone.
Back to the grindstone. So we preliminarily passed our FEMA evaluated exercise with no issues. We had the exit meeting what day was it? I don't know, sometime last week we had the FEMA exit meeting, and they came through and said that we had no issues that they could report.
Yay.
Yay, good job, everybody.
It didn't seem like there was quite as much challenge as there was for the last one they graded.
Yeah.
It seemed like the challenges were less,
Yep.
and so.
Yep. I cannot thank my staff, the EOC players, the policy group, and then all the offices that let employees come play with us. I can't thank those guys enough, because you all work really hard on training and getting to know your roles and jobs, and it shows because we passed. As far as Wolf Creek, we still have Lyon County that gets evaluated this Thursday in their new facility at Hartford High School. Then we are training the Highway Department on their Wolf Creek roles on December 5th. And then we might finally be done with Wolf Creek for the year. Yay!
It's time to start over again.
And then we start right over next year. My staff and I have went through 9 exercises this year. And that's a lot. That is a lot.
And that's all with Wolf Creek?
No, not all Wolf Creek. Some of the, like the dam tabletop that we went to, and then we've done some recovery exercises with the state. It's just been a lot this year.
Is that number going up, and if it is, why is it going up to more?
We weren't supposed to have an evaluated exercise this year, but COVID pushed us back, and so we had an evaluated last year and then this year. So really, this was supposed to be our off year. We weren't supposed to have one, and then also they threw this HAB, the hostile action-based stuff at us, and they said that we were supposed to do that this year, and then Wolf Creek asked to have that put off so they could get some things worked out. So we won't be doing the HAB, the bad guys in the plant, until 2025. So, but we still have to be evaluated by FEMA, so we had that evaluation. And then I think just after coming off of COVID, we didn't have any exercises for a long time because nobody wanted to get together in big groups. And, I don't know, we've just been busy. I don't know. It's a good question. 2024 will be an off year for evaluations for Wolf Creek, for our EOC, but we will try to do a practice drill for the red team and the blue team. So no pressure, just come in, real casual. Because we are being graded and evaluated in 2025 on a hostile action base, a HAB, one or maybe both of the 2024 drills could be law enforcement based HAB drills. So it could get fun and interesting. But like I like to tell everybody, that's when all the I agencies come in, the KBI, the FBI, all those I people, they start, intelligence people start coming in. I still have some letters of agreement, some MOUs that last time I brought them in, we had some changes. Tim is working on getting USD 244s signed this afternoon, and then we're still waiting on the Adjutant General's legal department to approve us taking the word excessive out from under the damages that state agencies might be liable for while using our JSB as a forward staging area. I don't know why it's taken so long for them to approve one word being taken out, but it's the state. We did receive USD 245s, and then we're just waiting on USD 243's agreement, and I'll bring all those in when they're ready. I just wanted to update you. We have 3 plans being looked over by FEMA and the state. We've turned them in, and they're reviewing them. They're all done in our eyes. We're just waiting for the approval. Our LEOP, which is our Local Emergency Operations Plan, and that's the one that they've been kind of telling you guys that we were behind on, but we've been waiting on them for a long time. So, our Wolf Creek Plan, and then Lyon County's plan stating all the changes that they're moving to Hartford. So right now we're working off draft plans until we can get approval for all those plans. Julie has started on our hazard mitigation plan, which we should have done in 2024, and she's also making sure that our Woodson County host plan will match all the changes we did for Lyon County to meet all the new planning standards that they've thrown at us. FEMA and the state both have new planning standards and more things that they want to see. So. Radios, Martin's been cranking out radios for everyone. He started the fire department's mobile radios, and Lebo is completed. He was able to update all the radios via Wi-Fi at the Lebo station. Later this week, Martin and Scott will be switching all the law enforcement radios over to the AES encryption, which is the new encryption that we were trying really hard to make sure everybody had access to that needed it. So that's the encryption that law enforcement will talk on, and none of the rest of the radios will be able to hear them, and no hackers or anybody will be able to hack those, supposedly. So once we turn all law channels to AES, anybody who had access to those law channels before that wasn't supposed to will not have it anymore. So I imagine we'll be getting some calls from some people saying, I don't hear any car chases, what's going on? Well, you weren't supposed to be hearing it, so I'm waiting on those to come in. But they're doing really good. All the radios that we ordered are in. Everything's sitting downstairs, stacked to the ceiling. My EM budgets are gonna go in the red this month. We kinda talked about this at the beginning of the year. I started paying off for siren and radio stuff out of my emergency management budget. So, until we were able to get accounts set up for them, a lot of the expenses for the training and supplies and batteries and all that stuff came out of my budget. So, I'm getting ready to go in the red in 2 accounts, my commodity and my contractual. Not by a whole lot, but it's gonna be in the negative. So, we had talked about that at the beginning of the year.
Do you have the amounts that you paid for the siren stuff that
Yeah,
we could
I can have that
maybe
all, so,
move back over to you?
yeah, so I can have that all broke down, and then, how much I need to get me through the end of this year. Shouldn't be a whole lot. Usually by the end of the year, we're done with expenses and stuff. And because we had a lot of exercises, that was a lot more, cost for, food and supplies and stuff like that, so.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Because she falls under the general fund, the big pot of money,
Mm-hmm.
even if she does go in the red, it's okay, because we'll offset it with the general fund, so, but at least it'll give us a good idea of how much money she has used, so that when, come next year, she'll know
Right,
budget-wise.
because you're not overdrawn.
So you don't really need to move any money.
You don't have to move anything,
No.
okay.
It's a big deal to me. It freaks me out when I see the negative balances.
Well, that's the way we've been trained.
Yeah, I know. And it hadn't happened yet before under my watch, so.
Well, we've had other departments where it's happened, and, the general fund, now, if it was a separate fund, their own fund, and they didn't have the benefit of being in.
Like the sheriff's fund or
Well,
something.
no, it'd be like the health
The
department.
health department, yeah.
Then you would need to move the money.
Need to-
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not gonna be any violation of any kind, so.
Okay.
Just transparency on that, and I will come back with numbers to let you know, what we went over and why and where. But we do have funds set up for radios and sirens now, and we've been spending out of that. I think my office has been really good about spending out of it. I need to get some stamps for the sheriff's department, because I think they've still been paying bills out of general for that stuff. But I'll sit down and look at all that this week and try to get the budget. I can't say enough about my staff, Tim, Julie, and Martin. They work really hard. They want things done right, and sometimes that means doing it the long way, and I really appreciate that about them. No shortcuts, stay late if we have to. They're always ready to dig in and help each other out, and so I really have a great team, and I'm very blessed about that, so just want to thank them.
Martin seems to be really grasping the radio.
Oh gosh, yes.
I mean, he's doing a good job of that.
We made a good
He made a good choice.
made a good choice with that one. He really likes it too. And him and Scott work really well together, and Scott's passing on as much knowledge as he can, because I know they're ready to get Scott back out on the road, so, should be any day now that they just turn it loose to him.
Well, and a thank you to you for bringing this all together to make these exercises that you passed. I mean, I'm assuming this is part of Wolf Creek keeping their license basically, so
Very much
basically,
so,
so
yeah.
that's, huge for our
Okay.
county, so thank you to doing such a good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Doing a fine job.
Well, thank you very much. Do you guys have any questions or comments, or, Steve, you got anything?
The other day at the meeting, there was something about the sprinkler thing.
Oh, yes, well, I didn't even think about, yeah.
I was just curious if you could fill.
Sure. Apparently downstairs so we have we call it the radio room, but it's the equipment room that has all of dispatches, the brains to their system is in this room across from our office. It's a temperature controlled. I think there is a mini split in there because they gotta keep the equipment cool. Tim, who is a former fire chief from Utah, walked in there the other day, and there are sprinkler heads up above all the equipment. really old sprinkler heads. All it takes is for someone to
Knock one off.
knock one off and all that equipment is junk. So, we said something to Dawn in dispatch because it is her equipment, and then I talked to Brad a little bit about it. I don't know where this is gonna go. It's in my area, but it's not my stuff. But we're probably gonna have to look at something for that room. And I'm not sure what is over in the vault room for fire, but Brad's servers are all over there too. So if there's sprinklers over there, I mean, and I don't know what kind of fire suppression system you use for electronics like that so that you don't ruin it. I don't know if it's that rains down foam on you. I don't know anything about this. This is new territory for me.
Well, I think that'd be better to be dry chemical, that'd be the only
Right.
other alternative.
Yeah.
I would think, yeah.
I mean,
So that was something that we came up with, and we're just kind of beginning to scratch the surface of to see what we need to do for that kind of stuff because, yeah, we can't lose that equipment. That would be bad.
I mean, if something's on fire, the sprinklers have to work, they
Right.
have to be there.
Yep.
But
Little umbrella
Maybe
that
a-
pops up over.
maybe an updated system to where you can't have a failure
Yeah.
blast of water.
Well, and the problem with it is if the water would, if the sprinkler head would go off for whatever reason, I don't know how many dollars worth of equipment we're looking at down there.
It'd test our insurance policy.
It would test,
Be bad.
oh, it'd be a bad
It
deal.
would test my heart.
Uh,
It would test my heart.
Some of that equipment could be placed in some sort of
Box, like a box or something.
plastic
Yeah.
I don't know.
tote, for lack of better terminology.
Yeah, we're just, like I said, we're just kind of looking at it. We did step one, we found the problem. Hey, you coming up?
Yep.
He's watching us.
Suppose maybe some of it probably has some ventilation to stay cool, maybe.
Yes, there's a mini split down there that is in the room for that. We're talking about the
Fire.
fire.
That had to have been a recent ad within the last 10, 15 years. If they needed a fire suppression system for the jail. So it's just on that part of the building,
Because it's not in your server room, right?
not in the server.
Not in the vault. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the vault, but
That room,
but
So
Dawn's.
what's your
that's an
thoughts?
important room.
What's your thoughts of a solution?
Most electronics use a halon system, which takes all the oxygen out of the room. Not really a safe thing for something people have access to, but we need to do something with water. And I'm not an expert on that. I'll have to ask a fire chief what they do in something in that case. But we need to get the water out of there for sure.
Is that equipment
I
set
don't know
up?
why it was added there.
Is that equipment set up so maybe it could be like in a acrylic box or something that would keep the water off of it, but that's a cheap fix.
Could be cheap, then why have anything in there if you're gonna put top over?
I know, because
That's
what would
what's
catch
gonna
on
be
fire is that equipment.
Yeah, the
I mean-
equipment's what's
Yeah.
gonna cause the issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless it's a
floor
mini
tiles,
split, but
Floor tile's not gonna burn.
it's it's all concrete
Well,
floor.
everything's concrete.
It's all
except that.
concrete in
I was
there.
gonna say, what, worst case scenario, what's going to burn in there? I mean, what would cause a fire in there, other than?
So all of her 911 equipment is in there, all the, consulate,
It would be electronic.
It would be
Electronic.
yeah. And then that mini split, and what else is there?
That's it.
This is Dawn's equipment for dispatch.
So all this stuff's gonna be moved over to the sheriff's office, so
It
it's not,
stays,
it stays here.
Yeah, it was,
So the ceiling, it's not concrete, is it?
It's all concrete.
it's
Ceiling
unfinished
to-
room.
It's an unfinished concrete room.
Those 3 rooms, so the vault where Brad's stuff is, our storage room, and this, what we call the radio room, all three unfinished, concrete floors, concrete ceiling.
So then, basically, correct me if I'm wrong, the only purpose of having fire suppression is to stop this fire so we don't have smoke going into the other parts of
To the part of the building, why couldn't a person just cap the line off?
And
Is that the problem though, Steve?
well, I think that's where it needs to be taken a look at. That's why I was asking what kind of a fire it would be. It's not going to be a,
It's not gonna be insulation and
it's gonna be a smoke,
paneling.
it's gonna be a smoke issue
Yes.
more than anything, just from the electronics, is that correct? So, if you took this sprinkler system out, cap that off, I'm asking.
That would save the electronics.
That would, and that's,
From
and
a
that's
fire
what,
somewhere
right,
else.
and that's what we'd have to be interested in, is saving those electronics, because that's where the dollars are.
But those are what's gonna be on fire.
If the fire is there. But if the fire is in the jail, somebody lights a fire in the jail.
Then that goes off
and
too.
that goes off
That
too.
goes off too, yeah.
That goes off also.
Yeah. I'd
We
say,
need to seek permission from fire chief, whatever.
Yeah, we need
I
to
would
find out what
say-
their.
Well, we can
regulations
get with Randall, I think, maybe state fire marshal, we can get with him too, because he comes around and doesn't.
I was gonna say, Randall
Yeah.
would be able
Yeah.
to help on
Yeah.
that. It was just a concern the other day that,
Yeah.
even a broken water pipe is not good.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
You even have the piping in there at all is not good, in my eyes.
Right.
As long as we've got a fireproof door for X amount of minutes
Yeah.
on those, so it can't breach that room
Mm-hmm,
in any way, shape, or form.
right,
I mean, if there's no air getting to it, the fire's not gonna do anything.
right.
Exactly.
So, if we can just shut the water off, cap those lines.
And if those rooms are contained, then that's,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, they're contained in
They're-
themselves.
yeah, that would solve the problem.
Consult our fire chief,
Yeah.
see what.
We will do that, that's what we'll do, get with Randall and then maybe talk to state fire marshal too and make sure that everything's good, but as many people as we have working in these rooms, and, I mean, nobody means to have an accident, but, you know, we got bug guys, we got plumbers and electricians, and just one,
But he
whoop,
could move a ladder or anything.
yeah, just one little misstep and we've lost all of dispatch.
I'd say if you get permission from
And then the cap-
powers to be, you just
Mhm.
have them cap.
Okay. We will do that, thanks for bringing that up, Steve, I didn't,
Well, no, I didn't.
I had, it was like,
Eliminate the plumbing. if
something I
it's
didn't even really wanna.
the way to do that, but
No, it's
water
all right.
goes on
I just-
somewhere else.
The more, I mean, when we visited about the other day at the meeting, that is a concern with so many dollars
It's huge.
involved.
Well, and, you know, like you said, if something happens in the jail, then it's raining on us, even though we don't even have a fire.
Yep.
Okay,
Alright.
we'll look into that, thank you very much, appreciate it. Thanks,
you.
Brad.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
And gals.
I asked Bobby Skipper if he had a report from the loans that we've had to bring it up, where we're getting close to the end of the year, make sure everybody's.
The revolving loans,
The
small
revolving loans,
business.
yeah. We haven't seen anything for quite a while on any of those.
Great.
No news is good news when everything's okay, but the
Well,
bad news is,
We hope so.
Yeah.
Travel
Everybody's
like
always-
wildfire.
Sorry for the short notice,
That's
it's
okay.
something that just sparked up in my head.
So we have plenty of time today.
Yeah.
It don't take long for him to gather stuff.
No.
Thank you.
thank you.
He has to get somebody to push the right buttons, because I'm sure Bobby didn't run pretty good.
That's about right.
Don't see any surprises there, really. I mean, it's pleasant as far as new news.
There's two of the borrowers who make payments way ahead. One of them's EB Sports, the other one's O Auto Wash. Everybody else pays like Johnny. They just, I mean, there's never a hiccup, not even a day. Most of the time it's a week or two ahead. We don't have to call them. We don't have to dun anybody.
That's a good thing.
And
RMD Enterprise, that's paid in full.
Yes, sir. That was a loan in Waverly to, I forget the borrower's names, but they bought a old car wash, tore it down, and fixed up a building for a salon. Is another person in the salon now?
Well, but that's sold now, and I think they made that into an apartment.
Oh.
And then cleaned up that old building, and it looks pretty good on the corner there.
It was an improvement.
Yeah, no, it was a nice improvement.
It's good.
Car wash is still there, but the little salon, beauty salon, I think they turned that into an apartment.
That's good. That's an example of a loan that wasn't a whole lot. I think it was 70 grand or 80 grand initially, but they paid it off in a real short time and made an improvement in that community. But that was also a situation where the borrower was really creditworthy, but the two local banks that looked at them, it just didn't, for that kind of project, they didn't want to loan the money, and so that's why they came to the county.
And the bank could have had the money.
Yeah, bank could have easily done it, but.
They had more, they charged more interest.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you, Bobby. Any other questions?
There are a few other revolving loans that I'd like to come back to the commission with, at maybe next meeting.
If they're important, if they're time sensitive, we'll be here Wednesday. But if they're not time sensitive, hit it on a regular meeting.
Yes, sir.
If they're not time sensitive.
We haven't heard anything from EM Shields or anything on the chip deal for
So
a while, Bobby, so.
I just sent an email off to a few people to articulate this, but EMP Shield, their company is called Trusted Electronics Manufacturer. That's what the name of the business will be that goes out there. And they're building multiple buildings. They're the only ones who have had correspondence back from Department of Commerce at the federal level. All of the other applicants, as originally proposed, they're still wanting to locate out there too, but they have not submitted, they haven't formally submitted their request for funding yet. Because Commerce told them there was a separate pot of money that they would work out of. So it kind of threw them for a loop. So after first of the year, they'll be submitting theirs. They've already submitted one time, but it was the wrong pot of money. Everybody else is considered a supplier, while TEM is the main fab.
So everybody else is on the support side.
Yes, sir.
So that pot of money is separate from
The
CHIPS Act.
The main CHIP Act pot of money.
But it's still federal money, is it?
Yes, sir.
Pot of money.
Yes, sir. And right now, it's like sometimes there's laws passed, or this is an act, the CHIP Act, and they don't appropriate the money until maybe a year or two later. But that's the scenario we're in now. Congress has not allocated the funding for this act yet, so it keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. As any of you watch the news, you've seen there where Congress has done stopgap funding just to get past through the first of the year. Until they allocate a full annual appropriation, I doubt that Commerce will be able to award any money or make awards.
Because they don't have a budget.
That's correct. It'd be just like you guys stepping out there on something big like the jail with no funding to back it up.
How can we send billions to other countries when we don't have a budget?
I know.
Yeah.
It'd really
Must be a
nice-
different pot of money.
Sad.
It'd really be nice for those folks up there to learn to play together just a little better.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, they're falling on both sides.
Be nice if they just get to work.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's,
it's sad.
Yeah.
Don't get me hot.
you know,
Want to get him talking.
no,
Thank you, Bobby, for updating us, and hopefully we get some good news here soon.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Paul.
Thank you very much.
That takes care of our agenda for the day, but I know Wade's got something.
Yeah, you left.
Yeah, he left.
You'll get
See ya. Yeah, exactly. Since we get to Wade at least. I asked Angie to give us a report on the CID over at Meter Junction. One of the locations, if I understand this correctly, did not put in the increase of sales tax for the CID, which would have probably, it was the biggest one, I believe, would have probably substantially changed the numbers. But we received $57.59 so far from the CID, correct?
Well, we have
Are they?
108.
Or 108,115.18. Yeah. Did we spend 50,000, 54,000 on that?
So what was that period of time?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, what, is that 1 quarter, 2 quarters?
There's been 2 installments.
We looked at it again.
1, 2, 3.
So them not implementing that, that's not an option, is it?
Well, I guarantee you, if you didn't pay your sales tax to the state, they'd be after you
I know
to
what
make that up, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that it's gonna be made up, so
Have they implemented it? Have they got it?
they did not put the, what was it, 2 cents? Or 2
cents, yeah.
2 cent sales tax.
So have they got it going now, though?
I believe they have it running now. So the next,
Yeah, they do.
there's,
Somebody needs to send them a bill.
yeah,
It come from
Yep,
us.
what we do have is the
That's
54.
That's the big
54
one.
54 is the only thing that has been brought in, so. And that was for 1 quarter, right?
We haven't had time for 2 quarters, I don't think.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, 1 quarter.
Okay, that's gonna generate a lot of money.
It's gonna be nice, yeah.
Yeah, early on, you know, we was thinking about 30, 35 a quarter,
Mm-hmm.
or a month.
So I'm guessing TA is the one that didn't
Yes,
send them out.
yep. The ones that gave us the most fit,
We
and,
we got a contract with them for fuel, trying to communicate with the corporation. Yeah. The deal.
so. Anyway, that'll help offset some other stuff.
Yes, but, now that has to be spent within that
In
district,
the
is that
CID,
correct?
yes. So everything that's generated up there can be spent in that area, which falls within the CHIPS.
That's part of our area, correct?
Correct.
So we need to create a county to be able to put that money into?
I think is there one, is it going into, what account's it going into?
440.
440?
Yeah.
So that's
BDO,
the
CID.
BDO CID.
Okay.
I I don't know this on our list, is it?
No, but I can put it on there.
So hopefully this next quarter will look, I don't know what it's gonna bring. I mean, you're looking at your TA and your Fuel Espresso, tonic or whatever that is up there. I mean, those are gonna be you got your Wendy's, you got your restaurant, you got your truck stop. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3 registers in the TA itself.
Yep.
So is the 80 acres that we passed our option on to that was on the east side of the highway, is that part of that?
I believe that's part of the
Yeah.
CI. It's,
I don't remember it being a part of that.
Just on the west side of that portion? I didn't know what that area.
I thought we circled, I thought it was at least an 80 deep all the way down to 50 highway and then back on the west side. I'd have to relook at that.
Yeah.
I was just curious, I couldn't remember.
We're at, roundtable time, I guess. I know it's sad.
It's hard to believe. Going up to that CID area, Jesse had called me last week, or we were on the phone about something and mentioned the Sunday sales resolution. Just so you're aware, it is basically self-authenticating and becomes effective on the 61st day after it was signed. The 61st day, if I recall correctly, and we looked it up the other day, is January 9th of 2024. So until that time, it's open for somebody to bring in a petition and then challenge it. That, if they do that, then it meets the threshold to do so, then it ends up on an election issue. So I know we hadn't talked about what day that would be, and I just wanted to let you know January 9th, I believe, is the 61st day.
I'll forget it between now and then.
At some point in time here, I thought it might be this week, but I guess it'll be next week. Going back to last week, the jail conversation, River City will be providing a document that the request will be for the chairman to sign it, that talks about the guaranteed maximum price. Their guaranteed maximum price will only include the portion that deals with the construction of the jail and not the fixtures and equipment and the architecture. And I think that's important to note, because the GMP includes those things as well, which is the 28. So technically, the board could have passed the GMP at the 25, whatever it was, that only included the construction but not the fixtures and furnishings and the architecture. I think that, in my opinion, would be somewhat misleading, because then it wouldn't include what is also encompassed in the entire 28 plus the alternates that was done. So when that document does show up, I just want it to be noted so that the figure will be for the GMP with River City, the 25 that's on the document that was presented, if that 25 and some change, 25 million, if that makes sense.
But it should change to some because of the other options that we chose. It shouldn't be 25, should it? Should it be more than that?
Yeah, the 25 plus the options.
Plus the options, okay,
You're
okay, okay. Oh, there's almost $1 million in options, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah.
800 and some thousand. Seven, yeah. So
Right.
it'd be
Yeah, 25
roughly
and-
$26 million.
Right.
And that was for the 4 options that we
Yes.
get, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't include the fluff, is what Wade's saying,
Right.
from there to the 28,
Right.
for the architect and
Then the.
the fixtures.
Right, fixtures and furniture. Warren called me and he had, he was concerned about that and thought that maybe the numbers should be changed because they didn't, what they're gonna billboard does not include those two things, the architectural fees and the Goldberg fees and then the fixtures and furnishings. And I said, in my opinion, it all needs to be there because it looks maybe, it's not being as transparent than to just have the 28 as a whole, in my opinion. So, hopefully that'll show up at some point in the next couple weeks.
Pass that down the way. There's an email that come through on this, and I don't know that I want to sign it, if it is in question of the proper of the call a meeting. Hold on to that.
And you could ask them to come in and maybe explain that a little more. So that's my general update, but I'm gonna have a request for two separate executive sessions, both under attorney-client, but two different things. One is attorney-client and legal advice relating to a county contract or agreement that may result in litigation. And that one, I'll ask for 20 minutes.
The board and you.
Correct.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
20-minute executive session, board, we, will enter at, do we need a break? Little break in between?
Yeah.
We'll enter the 20-minute executive session at, 10:12. It's 10:08.
It might be the idea, but a lot of my customers don't hand it to me either, though.
I moved to you.
No action being requested regarding the last executive session. Which then segues into, as I indicated, I have two executive session requests. The second is the same statutory exception, attorney-client, but the subject matter is legal issues regarding a subordinate board to the county commission, I guess. And myself and the board. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Huguton,
Second.
second by Meats. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We'll enter at 10:38 for 20 minutes. It's 10:35. You haven't had Dennis Shank's phone number. He says on the hospital board.
Let me see.
I know I missed one of them.
Regarding the last executive session, I don't think any action is being requested at this time. And then moving, is that? Okay. Moving on to, I've had the opportunity to review the document that the chairman passed around to me earlier, just to sort of have it in my line of sight, and just for transparency purposes, it's the Coffee County Housing Authority October 24th, 2023 special board meeting minutes. It's short, half a sheet long, and I think my suggestion would be, and I guess for additional transparency purposes, the minutes reference bids and acceptance of a bid related to a project in Gridley. And that there was going to be a meeting between the city of Gridley and the director of the Housing Authority on November 1st, 2023, related to the bid and acceptance of the bid. As this board is aware, the bid process is something this board is very familiar with, and how that bid process moves forward. I think some additional clarification might be
It's all there, but I don't know.
needed related to the minutes, or some other way where additional information can be provided regarding the bids, because then, I think I'll leave it at that. I don't know if requesting to have a special meeting with the Housing Authority Board and this board might be something that could be recommended. Someone could reach out if that's what this board suggests or agrees to, and maybe some of what's not included in those minutes may be able to be fleshed out. I don't think anybody's a request could be made, but it could be it could be clarified easier within those minutes as well. And that, I think, is what your point was, why you wanted me to look at it.
Right.
Because within that within the minutes, there's no mention of what the bid was.
Or how many bids they had, or anything.
Right. So I think maybe sitting down with that board and doing so either here or in a open setting might be helpful, because all of that information, at least with this board, is disseminated unless it's a sealed bid. And even after it's a sealed bid, once a decision has been made to move forward with that sealed bid, then that information is disclosed for everybody in YouTube land to see, because that's allowing that process to be open. And I think it just needs to, my recommendation would be to see if that board would be willing to sit down and have a meeting so that those things could be maybe discussed and clarified a little bit. Just
Well, I know we get on our side of putting out requests for bids and so on and so forth. Wade has ran us through the ringer to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and everybody's got a fair chance of the same bid and the same documents and so on and so forth. And same as Tom, when he sent his, going to his bids, you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Even though if it is a sealed bid system, once all the bids are read and vetted, to make sure that the low bid or the best bid is under the guidelines that is requested under the bid documents that was sent out, then that information should be disclosed to the public, or should be public information, correct, Wade?
yes.
If there's 4 bidders, if they vet and make sure the low bidder has got everything that they need, once they accept the low bid or best bid, that information can now be presented to somebody if it is requested or in paper, correct?
Unless there's something I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm just trying to go. But I mean, we have no information other than an individual's name.
Other than we got an accepted bid.
Accepted bid by
The
an
only thing we
individual.
have is name.
And I think that's what your concern is, right?
Yes.
There were bids, there was acceptance of a bid, and other than the name of who the bid was awarded to, the details are not at least present within the motion or the minutes.
Which is very important in the minutes, I would think. You've received 3 bids, blank construction, blank construction, blank construction. Chose blank construction as low bid, even if you've got to vet that bid, make sure everything's in it that needs to be in it, and come confirmation with that bidder, then you can disclose the information from the other bidders, and plus the total of the bid accepted.
And if you remember, for example, the sealed bid that we
For
dealt
the
with
Meadows.
for the Meadows, that was intentionally not disclosed until the very end. But at the very end, all of the details surrounding that, including what the initial offer was, and I don't know if all that information needs to be provided, but it was, so the public had an idea of why that took so long, and then there was the negotiation process that occurred behind the scenes.
Sunset, yeah.
Yes, public funds.
Right. So that's, that would be my suggestion, because sitting down with that board and maybe understanding their process. And this isn't to say that they've done anything wrong.
Right.
I think it may be more of what is the thought process, what's happening there, and then being able to have this board and that board meet, and that can happen from time to time. And I think it's appropriate. And since they come to this board and they funnel information through this board, I think this board is in a position to make that request. Now, they could decline that request, which I don't know why they would. I think it's a matter of matching up schedules and timing, and that meeting occurred here. And I'm not sure if it is accepted that this is, and it may be a big enough room, it may not be, I don't know.
Well, just like the bids we took on 2 vehicles this morning, you know, we detailed out the differences in them, so we have a better understanding of why there was a difference in the value. I mean, it's different, but yet it isn't.
Now, some of that discussion may occur during the meeting, and I fully understand that. But at least the detail about what the bid was, because there's no figure at the minimum, in my opinion, that should be there.
And then we've got the motions for the chairman to sign real estate release, mortgage release. Who owns the mortgage? Is it the housing authority or is it the county commissioners? Do you have any mortgage release names?
The ones we just did today?
No, it was last.
Oh,
It was last week. We had one like 500 feet north, southwest terrace.
That was the first one on last week's
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah, he was from your district. Davis, Fred Davis?
Fred Davis.
Well, I think Jesse's question is, if we're signing the mortgage releases, we're the only ones that have the power, the chairman is the only one that has the power to sign the mortgage release, who's entering into the contracts. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
but why
just like
is
this housing authority.
why are we getting this the tail end of something? You know, why do we gotta sign a mortgage release? Did somebody buy something from the county?
Well, again, I'm pretty sure the mortgage releases, or, you know, because it states a property owner's name and in the property description it was a rehab project where they did some remodeling for them. And I do know the rules are they have to live there for 5 years after the project's done to get the release in full.
But knowing that information would be a lot better than assuming that's what it is.
Yes.
And that would potentially be another conversation to have, sitting with a joint meeting, have some, just to be able to ask those questions and say, okay, that makes more sense.
I mean, instead of having a bunch of gibberish on this thing that I'm reading make sense of, there should be a piece of paper that shows maybe a layout of the property.
Well, maybe what the terms and conditions of an agreement are, then if certain things are satisfied, then the mortgage will be requested to be released. And maybe that's the better way to word that.
Okay. I'm not one on words. Maybe the right words anyway. I'm on words, but not the right words.
So do we need someone to reach out and set a date?
Well, I guess when do they meet next? I don't know that.
It's the second Tuesday of each month, so it'll be December 11th.
So on December 11th, maybe someone from this board can get on their agenda and make that request, or alternate two would be, Angie can reach out to, or I can reach out to, I don't wanna volunteer Angie for anything, but to reach out to, their director, Rhonda, and throw out the idea, and they'd have to talk about it at their next meeting regardless. And then, if they're interested, figure out what the best way to communicate with them about setting up a special meeting, and maybe, if they're okay with it, set it up either at the same time or after their meeting on a Tuesday if it's convenient for everybody, or maybe in the afternoon of, on a Monday when this board's meeting. I don't know what everybody's schedule is.
I know
That's a
there's
volunteer board.
2 or 3 on the board that actually have jobs, if you will, they work, so.
Having,
And
only
they
having
meet
one
over
day off.
lunch hour, so.
Only having one day off would probably be better for them versus having to come back for.
Yeah.
Their next meeting is when did you say, the 11th?
The 11th.
It's on the 9th, the second Tuesday's the 9th.
Excuse me.
My calendar says December
12.
Oh, Tuesday's the 12th,
Okay, I'm sorry,
I circled the first Monday of
I
the
did,
month,
I did too.
yeah, if we go to December, be the 12th.
be the 12th.
And I've got no problem stopping in, it's whatever anybody wants.
I think if that's what the consensus is, then Tom could step in or stop by and take the temperature.
Fine with me, if you will.
On the,
I mean, it's a spin-off board of this board, of this commission. And I think we need to see what the agreements are, what the bids are, I think we need to have more involvement, to an extent.
They probably need to be notified somewhat ahead of time to, that way, have time to gather the documents
Right.
or gather information that we will probably want to look at.
Yeah. I didn't go to the bid letting, if you will, I went to the pre-bid, but the only problem I see is that's a out of county and contractor, so.
Was there anybody in the county that bid on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we bid, 1 or 2.
So there was 4 bids?
I don't know how many there was, I don't know, we sent out a couple
Okay.
bids to locals.
So they haven't got,
We
to
did,
me, that notice ought to have the bid people, bid companies in it.
I mean, how many of the other 2 that we bid to showed up, I do not know.
I'm still not signing it.
I realize it happens, so
Yeah.
that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Any more roundtable, Wade?
Just to keep it on your, in your thoughts, I guess. The gentleman that showed up last week asking about the property, has the hospital been reached out to have the discussion?
They have, and we are on the agenda for, is it tonight? No, what did I?
Hospital board meets fourth
Did I-
Monday at 6:30. Well, yeah, would be,
That's what
wouldn't
it'd
it?
be tonight.
Did I send it to you, Wade?
I think you sent it to me.
Did I send it to you?
So to discuss that property,
Yes. First on the agenda, hospital board meeting next Monday at 6 o'clock. Coffee County is the first on the agenda to discuss the land sale south of the Meadows
Talking about the 27th?
tonight,
And is it 6 a.m. or p.m.?
6 p.m.
You're saying tonight?
Because they was getting the agenda ready when I
Well, that's right.
talked to Jovan.
not
So-
trying to pick hairs with their deal, this is the land right south of the meadows that he was
Yes.
interested
No,
in.
it's off to the east.
It's on to the east side, yeah.
I'm just
South and east.
putting it out there,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's what that read.
Yes, yeah, I did say south of the meadows, but it was
Yeah.
south.
No, well, I mean, that's what the deal says, but I mean, just wanna clarify that for.
So, there's a meeting tonight, first on the agenda. Are you available, Wade? To be present?
Sure, I'm always available. So, I'm just gonna put it back up here so we can
Okay.
have.
So Wade, by signing this, we're just acknowledging that we've seen this.
Yes.
You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
Can more than two go, Wade, or are we better off just having?
Well, I think if you're going as an observer and not.
Just sit back and not talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go to the meeting, that doesn't bother me. I don't have anything planned this evening. And if Tom wants to go, whatever. If you're
John's
good.
going on.
Yeah, I think when you go as an observer, you're a citizen just like anybody else. It's where you get involved in dialogue,
Right.
which from time to time you may get asked questions, and then that's when it comes up.
That's when you're involved.
I was going to say, if you're asked a question with more than,
I would say if you're asked a question and you're an observer, say, I'm here as a county, I'm here as
As an observer.
as a citizen observer.
because you're the you and Wade are going to be there, is that correct?
I can't be, I asked if Wade would be.
But if you had two board members can't
You just can't.
say anything.
Yeah, you can't,
More than
You
three.
can't have three. You
Yeah.
can't.
Okay.
involved in it.
He said that was plotted. Cause he went to the city and said it was plotted. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's what he said.
So I was just wondering how the plot side out, cause I mean, if we do wind up selling it, I would probably just go over realtors. The price on each lot and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's really a nice area up there.
It is. I could see why he's interested in,
Uh-huh. I mean, I hate to take his idea and butcher it up, but ain't like he can't buy two lots,
right.
I guess, or whatever. That's just my initial thoughts.
Why it's not.
Giving you a landowner.
It's not letting me.
It's not working for some reason. Has the landowners on it.
There we go.
There you go.
So, yeah, this is the one that he brought up. And just so you see, this is what I brought up last week. Value details.
12 million.
Yeah.
Might have been a decimal point.
Oh,
Directly
West.
To the west is this property, which is where,
The Meadows is.
the Meadows is. Yep. And that includes 8.7, what this one say, 4.9.
4.9. Oh, okay.
So there's
5 acres.
5 acres here, 8.7. This is to the
2.9.
north. Yep.
So all three of those tracks are in Coffee County Commissioners.
Yep. Yes.
This is the church. This corner is Housing Authority.
How's that the housing authority?
I don't know.
Would it be kinda like the hospital when they buy something, I think they originally purchased all that.
Did they purchase that?
I think so, but just when the
Or did they have it deeded to them or willed to them or something?
Well, I mean, they just had their own fund and it just deeded to, I don't have an honest answer, I guess.
Yeah, I think those are the main properties that should show up in the book. But these three especially.
Didn't they own a piece of
Mm-hmm.
Housing authority bought that, 'cause I think it was their.
Well, I know, but like,
How can they
the
own?
hospital had the Meadow, or the Sunset Manor built,
I
but
see
it was
what you're
deeded
saying,
as Coffee County.
Yeah, how can they own a piece of
I see what
property?
you're saying. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So going back to this piece of property, I mean, that's what's gonna be discussed with the hospital tonight, get their thoughts, ideas related to this parcel of property, and then I guess next week there'll be an update or new information for this board.
How's that address? 110 South Sixth Street,
Which one?
that address. Right there, oh, mailing address, okay. The Meadows, what is the address of that property?
00 Kennedy Street?
Kennedy Street, okay.
It says block 102, lot ends 49 feet south.
Okay.
And I went and got a copy of the deed information from, Registry of Deeds last week for this
Okay.
parcel. So what's interesting is all of this area is platted, but this corner piece right here
It's not.
is not. So you have to go to an entirely different map, because all this other stuff is platted. But
So even the Kennedy Street property is platted? I mean, that's what the individual said, it was platted.
yeah, this one,
Yeah.
yep.
Is the plat map available on that?
On this whole area?
On that map system?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think, I mean, the map that I looked at is about as big as this table.
okay.
You don't think Kara can print that off that?
Well, it can probably be printed off.
I bet Kara could do it.
I just didn't go that far. I just wanted to know.
Well, I mean, it's really here or there.
Yes, that's not our.
It's not as important.
Have a discussion, see where it goes.
Right.
So, I just wanted to keep it on your thoughts since it was brought up, and I don't know if it needs to be added to the to-do list. But, and this way, as we talked about a few minutes ago, this discussion is in the open. There's no mincing words about what's happening with it right now. The next stop along the way is the hospital board, and then depending on where that goes, new information, if any, will be disseminated and provided through the hospital board. And then brought back before this board so that a decision how to move forward, if any, can be brought in the open.
Well, I just know they've had hopes of doing something in them properties, but that was across the street to the east. And quite frankly, it's been there for how many years under Coffee County's name, off the tax roll, you know, I mean, years and years and years, so.
Yeah, so that's all I have. So glad to know what time's that meeting start for that.
6.
6.
And first on the agenda. Steve, you got any roundtable?
No, sir. The only thing I had was with emergency preparedness, and she gave you guys
Lowdown on
a
that.
lowdown on that. That's all I had.
I'm good on today.
Wade?
Angie, do you have any idea what our agenda is for next week?
I can tell you if I have anything at all on there.
Probably nothing yet.
That's what I just didn't know. Tim Johnson asked me if any of us would be interested in going to this KNRC meeting in Wichita next Monday.
We have Coffee Hill System CEO coming in.
Okay.
Well, Jobin, and yeah.
Okay, but I haven't decided whether I was interested in going, or if anybody else has any interest in going. It's, talk about this 30 by 30 and a bunch of these other regulations and different things they're trying to put a hold on.
It'd be a good thing to go to, I think it would.
So,
Is it all day long?
yeah. Sounded like it. They actually had a meeting, like a short one, 8 to 4 or something, I think.
Or like Sunday night or something?
Yeah, I didn't figure, he didn't think that I needed, whoever is interested in going needed to go to that necessarily, but. At this time, I don't have anything conflicting, but I didn't wanna, miss out on something here if there was something major that we needed to do here, that was all.
I think if Tim's going, one commissioner can go, it's probably not a bad idea.
Well, that was his thought, that he would like to see, if we could, one commissioner go to show our support for the situation, yeah.
I don't see a problem. I mean, like she said, the thing we missed out would be Jobin's hospital board report.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody else would rather go, that's fine with me, but
No,
I thought I might try to, unless something major comes up and I can't.
that'd be good.
Thomas?
So, I'll go down and visit with Rhonda, I guess, the housing authority, and do you wanna try and see if they can come at noon? On the
1 o'clock?
Tuesday that they normally, or, theirs on a Tuesday or
Theirs on a
something, I think.
Tuesday.
They would have to meet to make that decision, because that would have to be something that
That's true.
they decide on, so their decision and discussion would have to occur at their December meeting, and then potentially have that joint meeting, if it works with their schedule, in January.
So maybe the best thing to do is go to their meeting on the 12th.
But you'd have to get on the agenda, I would let you
Yeah,
decide.
which I can do that.
Yeah.
All right, make sure I'm following it correctly, how it was just deleted or,
I don't know if there's any reason to call a special meeting for the commission board.
Okay.
Well, for them, it would have, they would have to, if their meeting is gonna occur here during that same time period, if they agree to do that, then they would have to advertise their meeting being in a different location.
And a different
If that's
day.
what they wanna do.
And a different day.
Well, yeah. So they would be having a special meeting, and then it would be,
But it'd probably look better for them to have a special meeting versus us having a special meeting.
I think as long as you,
One just as much as the other.
I mean, here you end up making it, as long as it's open and it's done the right way, it doesn't matter who does it. Just give people notice.
But it wouldn't be a special meeting if the two board, I mean, if the commission and the board met here on our.
On our Monday, it
on
wouldn't be a
our
special
Monday.
meeting for the commission, it would be a special meeting for them.
Well, I think it would potentially be a special meeting because you're meeting with another boards. Unless they're just coming in and, I don't know, I gotta think about that.
Well, you got a week.
Yeah, you got a week to think about it.
Pretty touchy. But that's all I had.
I guess Steve and Mr. Thompson were gone last week when I was looking over the guidelines, if you will, for the infrastructure and parks monies distributed to the city. And infrastructure is defined as creation of new or maintenance of sewer systems, water systems, electrical power distribution, gas, communication lines, computer networking, public utility, as well as streets, curbs, gutters, and drainage projects. So basically the word maintenance in there just allows them to budget themselves, if you will, to maintain what they got with their infrastructure monies, which means nothing new really happens. The way I see it. I know Love Leroy's trying to promote, they're looking for some donations to do a sidewalk project, but in fact, you got maintenance, you said something, I mean, that would be something new that I would think that, because they get parks and recreation money
Something new,
too.
but then again, it's maintenance too.
Well, true, but I don't know, it's part of their parks and recreation money. They get,
That's primarily
they
staying
get 23,000 a year,
how much?
23,800.
That, the Parks and Recreation is primarily staying under the two softball parks and the football field, that's one place it goes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak out of turn for the city of Leroy, but, you know, goes for the mowing, goes for the lighting, goes for all maintenance to the park, or the need to.
Maybe it's more.
So it's more maintenance than it is.
Maybe, I guess when I kind of thinking about it, my original thought was that, you know, when we go through budgets, everybody's got their capital outlay, like Brad Shadmeyer, $100,000 for new computers, or Road and Bridge got capital outlay, well, we're gonna need a new track hoe in 2 years, 5 years, and Amelia had it in her capital outlay, well, we're gonna need a new vehicle. I mean, I don't know.
The city of Leroy will be looking, they got 3 new council members now, they'll have number 4 as soon as the mayor appoints one. So they're gonna have a complete turnover basically in their city. Be interesting what some different ideas that come to the table.
Well, and again, I'm just talking,
Yeah,
in general.
I watched the rest of the meeting and what you spoke about,
Well, I mean, with the SSM coming in, they're gonna have, I forget how many employees. That's at the airport, that's a definite. Jim
Yeah.
isn't definite yet, but, you know, I don't know.
Probably 25 people for the SSM, I don't know, 20, 25.
You know, but.
It originally started out 60, but the other day they mentioned 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it might grow, but they're also gonna have a line over at Lebo too.
Yeah,
So there's gonna be more people there as well, so.
I don't know. A wise old man I once knew by the name of Ian Boyce told me that for every action, there's a reaction. He said, if it's positive, it's gonna be positive. If it's negative, it's gonna be negative, so.
Guarantee.
That's the point. You gotta make things work.
Yeah, you do.
So possibly look at maybe rewording the verbiage.
It's a suggestion, not a request, just see what you all think, so chew on it.
I like new stuff. I like seeing new stuff go in towns and.
Well, when I go around here, I mean, I see people, you know, even during the summer, I've encountered people jogging down 16th Street. There's literally big ditches on each side of the street where, you know, if you gotta make a quick decision, somebody's going in a ditch. You know, so if there was a storm sewer system up in that area and a walking trail, I mean, that's part of what this conversation with Cook Flat and Stroll was too, is community development, why we paid for it, get them to thinking, and then it morphed into this from Burlington to Neutron Trail and a bridge across a river, which I'm not dissing on that. I'm not saying I'm not
Right.
for that. I'm just saying, if you start out here, it can wind up there, but I was hoping to spur some thought, you know, a trail clear around each city, or, you know, or at least a trail that leads from the school to downtown, or, you know, a trail that leads from the school to the park, or from downtown to the park, or whatever.
I'd much rather see us do that before we start spreading out, but that's a whole nother.
Well, I mean, you know, if it ended up, say it was in the city of Burlington, and it did go down to 16th Street, and went out to the school and whatnot, and 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever, it can carry on north and wind up out at the lake, and then carry on from there. I'm not saying you're gonna have to.
I know.
I don't take $1,000 to Vegas and throw it all in one set of dice. I kind of spread it out.
I don't get to go to Vegas.
Question the safety of the trails when you get that far away from town.
Well, that's true.
Whose young kids are gonna be out there riding on a bike, unsupervised? That's my big objection to the deal.
Again, I don't think it's a bad idea, but again, if you start out in your city and it ends up at the city limits,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
then it takes off from there, and it goes from there, and it goes from there, because, you know, even projects I'm involved with, if you will, I mean, that's how it starts. I mean, I did one in Ottawa, and all it did was go from basically one of the main streets out toward the golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a nice walking trail. They got some grant money and got her done.
Yeah, but like you said, people could utilize something like that rather than running down the edge of an unsafe street, you know?
Yeah. And that's what it was designed for. I mean, it wound up being, some of them 6-8 foot sidewalks, some of them not.
Yeah.
So, that's where I was hoping the Cook Flat Strobel deal of, you know, community development would add, but it seemed like it's, and that was the mayor of Waverly.
That was
came-
Jake, right.
Yeah, and at least he's not wanting to see it fall on its face, and he's
No,
trying to get.
because the
Yeah.
city of Waverly itself had attended most of the meetings that they've had.
Mhm.
So their development is out at Hexadation, and they've got, I mean, they're spending the money for that, project,
Something new.
something new.
That's great.
And, you know, I think 32 lots are involved, or 28 to 32 lots are involved.
Good.
And that's what Jake was doing. He just wanted to make sure, you know, he asked about, using the, engineer,
Good.
yeah, and that's where he was alluding to.
Yeah.
And I don't have.
Because when we talked, he said, we went to all the meetings, and he said, it just feels like that we're not getting anything done, and I think that's what he was after,
Yeah.
just the permission to use
Yeah.
that.
No, that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
If I remember correctly, they had quite a little bit of money wrapped up in that account.
They did,
Mhm.
they did, and they're using their, he wasn't down here asking for any more money, I mean, at this time, but he was just wanting to use that. as-
Using the money that's been given to them for
that project.
basically,
Right.
that purpose.
Right.
Something new.
Something new.
Yep.
Great.
Good.
I think that's what it was intended for,
Yep.
is,
Well, I agree, Tom.
That's all I have. Okay, Angie, you got any round table?
only thing is that I just posted on the Canva app there, you've got your board members that are up due to December 31st. You have 2 on tourism and visitors, which I assume Bobby would remain. And then at the hospital board, you have 3. And on the fire district, there's 2.
Yeah, hospital board was 3.
Well, actually 4 now.
4.
4 now, yeah. 1 unexpired and then 3 will expire.
And I put a call out to an individual to fill 1 seat in the hospital board. Do they have to be in the district? I know there's 1, 2, there's 2 of them that's in District 1. There's
That's one
2
Jim.
in District 4.
That's one Jim Dale was in, was one.
Well, Perry, sorry.
No.
Perry Chapman is actually in Wade's district, but Perry took the place of Rosemary, Rich.
I see.
And when she resigned, Wade, you asked if I had anybody up there and that's how Perry, that's who I.
Yeah, because it was way closer to you, even though it's.
Even though it was on
my
your,
district.
right. And Denny, I was going to call Dennis to see, I was gonna reach out to Dennis to see what his,
If he's got any thoughts or anything.
yeah, if he wanted to retain or whatever. And that's why I wanted the number.
Well, and Osborne,
She's not.
she's
right?
gone.
Yep,
Didn't she just send a letter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just had a resignation.
That's
So
right.
that one's not filled.
So that was 5.
So you have 2 unexpired and 2 that will expire. Well, she would expire too, but she's resigned.
So I guess my question is you can put somebody in a number 4 seat from number 1. It doesn't matter, does it? As long as it's an individual in the county.
I wouldn't think it'd make any difference. We don't have anyone in my county or my district. But, they're still representing the county.
Right.
Even though they may be in a different.
Right.
I'm not
Finding
sure.
people to volunteer for a board is dang tough.
Yes, it is.
It is.
But everybody wants to gripe about the board, nobody wants to volunteer to be on the board.
Well, it's like anything else, if they want to be involved, that's the way to become involved, is to sit on that board.
If they're not wanting to sit there and bid, they can help you,
Right.
You gotta try to feel that out to start with. If you
You don't want someone on there with an axe to grind.
That's right.
I don't know how I put it.
So,
So I guess you can just think about it, maybe you have some ideas for Wednesday, because you're signing vouchers Wednesday.
you need to get a hold of Todd, I guess. Todd Laughlin.
So hopefully he'll,
Is he involved in the fire board?
on the fire board.
I mean, I know he's on it, but is he involved in it?
Yeah, he's president.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure he'll probably re-up.
I would hope, I mean,
We won't assume.
yeah,
And then who's David Foster Jr.? That's,
that's
That's the Snap-on guy, isn't it?
That's Snap-on, yeah, David,
He's in my district, isn't he?
I think,
now it says 4th.
he's in my district,
yeah.
It's 050 and 075.
yeah. He was,
Or
All the
who's
fun,
ever-
all the
at
funds.
Obito. Oh, wait a minute, no, that is,
No, that's mine.
that's
Yeah,
yours.
my district.
Oh, they
yeah.
have it listed as.
Planner's my line, so.
Yeah, I go clear to Quail, I think,
Yeah.
don't I?
Yeah, David is yours.
I think I have.
And Todd's yours?
No,
Oh,
Todd's in my
Todd's,
area.
Todd's, Jesse's.
Wonder why they have 4th district here, number 4.
He's representing the 4th district, but he's actually in the
Okay.
District 3. That's what I'm assuming.
I think Planner's the line, so it'd be Obito, so that would be yours.
So Johnny Redding resigned.
Yes.
Okay, I need to get him off there too.
Well,
Roy Skillman took,
yeah, Bob. ask Roy Skillman to take Johnny's place. Bob Stressett.
Bob asked who?
Roy Skillman, the last one that's on the list.
Oh, so that
So
one
Johnny
didn't get
Reddick's gone.
removed?
But Johnny Reddick's gone.
Okay.
He's off.
He took the place when,
Pardon me?
Roy took the place
Yeah,
of
Roy took
Johnny
the place
Reddick.
of Johnny
So
Reddick.
Johnny just didn't get removed, is that what we're saying?
Basically.
Okay.
Right. Yes,
So, yeah, fine.
he already turned in resignation.
right,
Okay.
You know, there's some people in the hospital, I don't know, of course, won't know all of them, but I think it's real important. As much financing and as much money as the hospital board handles, I think we gotta do everything we can to keep some very, very sharp people there, and especially on the accounting side of it.
Well, if we could ask for the public, if they've got somebody that's got some business sense and willing to put the effort into it, we need some good people on there. If anybody's got any suggestions.
I nominate Dawn.
I don't know if the board member can serve on that board or not.
Well, anyway, it was a thought.
It's sharp with numbers.
Yes,
yes, he is.
yes, for sure.
So, back to the original question, that terminology for not being from the district is an at-large position, is that not correct? I mean, so that, all these boards, they don't have to be from a particular district, they can be from anywhere in the county?
I think a lot of them are supposed to be from the district, but I know some of them weren't done that way in the past.
Are there resolutions that tie to and set up the
Fire board.
the parameters? Because that's where your answer will be.
Yeah.
I was kinda wondering where
Because I
the
see on the fire board,
resolution was in the operating, where the operating agreements might be.
And then,
from District 5, 1 from 4, 1 from 3, and 1 from 1, so nobody from 2.
Well, there's actually 2 from 3. There's 2 from 3, 1 from 1, and 3 from 5.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm saying, can they be, that's terminology for that at large, right?
There's two.
so you can track down, I'd assume there's a resolution that tells you what the guidelines are,
Yeah,
or
there's
you
only
track
2
that
from
down,
5,
or you
so
can
it's not bad.
amend and modify it if you need to allow it. I just wanna make sure.
It's basically the same on the, airport board.
Well, the housing authority, Mike
3, 1,
Mike Skillman's representing District 3, I believe, and he's in District 5. He's representing my district.
Well,
Well,
the number 5,
He probably would be.
denotes where they live.
Okay.
Right, but also, I believe he's representing District 3,
Okay.
but he's from District 5.
So you don't have to be
From the one you're representing, apparently.
See, the airport boards. Oh, I thought you had 3 from 5, you just got 2. It's small enough reading, I can't hardly read.
I tried to blow mine up and it went back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't make it, I don't know if you can pinch it and make it bigger,
No, I tried that.
squeeze it out.
I wouldn't worry about it.
They're in your books too, but I just put it on there to take a look at here.
Well, I don't have anything. Do you have anything else from Roundtable?
Just checks and vouchers Wednesday,
Vouchers Wednesday?
and I will have you guys re-sign the reports on the election, because we realized after the fact that we didn't have the Woodson votes put in, not ballots, votes, for the Osage. Because they had people that live in their district that voted for school member,
Oh.
and so we have to add those votes in for the candidates, but no ballots were added, so the numbers stayed the same, but we did have to do that, so we'll just have you re-sign.
Okay. And that's Wednesday?
Yeah, when you're doing checks and vouchers, so. And that's it.
Wade, anything else?
Not for today.
I don't have anything else, I guess. If I do, I'll remember it Wednesday, hopefully. Write it down, yeah. I guess we'll adjourn at 11:54. See, almost drug it till then.